Hey guys, welcome to the Stock Market Series podcast. We're having the coolest day ever because it's cheat day, which is just so exciting. And it's just like been such an amazing day. Getting all this content done for this. There's obviously like the option stuff for the members area, but there's also like all this stuff about like dark pools and then basing like your interests and your investments and your options on sort of following like what like people in Wall Street are literally betting hundreds of millions of dollars on, and it's just like game-changing stuff. I'm so excited about it, so passionate about it. But I want to talk to you today about something, and like this is a concept I wish I knew so long ago, because if I knew it, it would have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. And but now I do, so now I can share it with you so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. So let's roll the intro, and I will see you right after that. So the big question is this: how do investors like us, who don't have a PhD in finance or millions to start investing, how do we grow our bank accounts to build real savings and retirements, and yet still have the time to do what we really love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. Awesome. All right, cool. So today I want to talk to you guys about scaling in and scaling out of positions. And when I say scaling in and scaling out, I mean like, selling half or selling a quarter or selling an eighth or something like that. Or just getting out like a fraction of your shares. Because this concept is like, it's so sort of overlooked or overrated by most people. And yet it's like literally one of those powerful things you can do, and it'll totally change everything. Because what it allows you to do is like lock in profits and totally abolish any chance of like, losing out or missing the opportunity, missing the boat. And at the same time, like you can just make tons of money in the process, which is like, so insane. And so to sort of exemplify this process and kind of give you guys an example of like what to not do. Like obviously there are tons of amazing examples with 9 to noon trades. Like you get in and then you sell half after you double your money, or you sell another half if you triple or something like that. But I remember there's this one stock, it wasn't a stock, it was a cryptocurrency. It was one cryptocurrency I was investing in, and this cryptocurrency, what was it? There were so many tickers. I have the trade confirmation somewhere. I think it might have been Digibyte. I think it might have been Digibyte. I was trading Digibyte, and I was doing this swing trade with them, and it was like a probably almost $1,000, I think. I don't remember. And I make this investment, and like a couple of days after I make this investment, based on just some fundamentals, there's like a MACD crossover, just some like basic technical analysis stuff. I mean, everything that is in sort of like part 2 of the book. I get in this position, and it kind of just goes sideways for a week, because I got like a portfolio of like 30 cryptos at the time, so like I'm swing trading a bunch of stuff. It's not a big deal. Then I wake up one morning, and I swear I was sitting in this exact same room, and it's like so psychedelic to think about it, because oh my gosh, I feel like I'm traveling back in time right now, and it was just so crazy. So I open up my laptop, and I log into the exchange. I was using like Bittrex. I don't know. There's so many exchanges. It's so amazing. But I log into Bittrex and open up my account, and this I think it's Digibyte. This currency went up, over the past 8 hours, while I was asleep, went up 3,800%. And I was like, holy shit, what? That's insane. And I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this concept, but once I really realized this concept, it changed everything for me. So hopefully you guys can kind of connect with this and use it as a baseline for getting out halfway or partial sells. The first thing I did when I saw this position go up 3,000%, which is like basically like 10x 3 times, like, oh my God. It was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. And that was such an amazing investment. And so I get in this position. Anyway, so I wake up and I look at it, and the first thing I do is I pull out my phone and put up on Snapchat, just got in this position, got up 3,000%, fire cryptocurrencies. I feel like such an idiot, like, for looking back at it. I mean, at the time I was like, whatever, I was a kid, it's not a big deal. Just trying to learn how to like do this stuff, and it's so awful, because I remember like thinking back, what I used to do is I would like post all over social media like all my investments and all my trades and all the money I was making and all that crap, and I don't know, it's just not like, I just don't like to do that anymore, because it's like, dude, like it just doesn't matter, like I'd rather empower people to have the success than to be out there like every day being like, oh, I made $1 bajillion. Like, it's not like, I don't think it's the right message to spread, because you want to share like quality education with people. You don't want to share like, hey, get rich overnight, make $40,000 in a week. Like, I don't know. Like, yes, that's like the end goal, right? And like, yes, that's the point. Like, yes, I have clients that are literally doing 10 times that, but like, you get there over time, right? And it's not, it's just hard. Like, especially like, you're thinking about like the markets, right? And like everyone's selling it as like this idea, you're like, oh, you're gonna become a bajillionaire, you rich in the stock market. It's like, I don't know, it just kind of feels like a sleazy, like, it just doesn't feel like the right thing to do. But anyway, what I used to do is I would always post on social media like when I had really, really, really awesome investments. And the challenge with that is like, then I would be like publicly committed to those investments, and I would like want to hold them for longer, right? So that's what I did with this investment. Like, instead of like being logical and saying maybe I should sell half of my position since I just made 3,000%, and maybe I should sell like 10% or some crap like that, I turned away from the computer, pulled out my phone, took a picture, and put it on social media, and then I just held it. I just sat there with it. And instead of thinking like, what's the logical best thing to do here? Maybe I should sell just a little bit of it to lock in just a little bit of gains. I just sat there and said, wow, I'm so cool. Look at all these people reacting to social media and crap like that. And I don't know, like I've never been huge into social media, but it's a slippery slope. It's not like my favorite thing ever. But it's really, really fun. I don't know if you guys have been over on Instagram, but like I'm having a great time. We're having some fun about like, not about like, get rich in 10 seconds flat, but like how to really have sustainable long-term development and growth, which is like really the key, right? That's the point. And so like, I don't know, so anyway, and I think it's like JF Wooten 4 on Instagram. And so the key, right, is to take like a logical approach to it, not an emotional approach, not a social approach, but instead like it's all you, and you have to have like, that perspective coming just from you. And so like that was what I wasn't able to do at the time, and I wasn't able to like scale out of the position. Instead, I was just like blindly going into it more and more and more, and consistently holding the position, right? I was just holding this asset. And since I didn't like sell any of my profit, or didn't take any profit, take any money off the table whatsoever, what happened over the next couple of weeks is like the position just tapered down, and it was down 10%, it was down 20%, it was down 30%, it was down 40%, it was down 70%, it was down 90%, and I just didn't focus on the investment, right? And so it's so critical, like if you have massive levels of growth, like you've got to just take it from a logical perspective. Don't worry about the social crap, don't worry about what other people think. Like, take your profits, take like at least half, and then set a serious stop loss for like, if it goes down 15%, I think 15% is a pretty solid number, especially after you have a huge gain. Like if it goes down 15%, like sell, get out, or at least get out half or something. Because it's always so much better to get out like partially, or get out, some parts of the trade than it is to just sit and watch it fade away, and your profits just disappear, right? And it's just a huge concept. So like, next time you're in a big trade, or just any kind of trade, right, and you have like some kind of profits, you go up 20%, you go up 40%, go up 1,000%, whatever you go up, right? Like, make sure that once you get to what you think is the peak, or what you think is the top, like you take half profits, right? Because you don't know if it's exactly the top, you don't know if it'll keep going up, maybe it'll double again. I know some stocks they double and then they double again. It's like, what? I didn't think that was gonna happen, but it does, right? And so that's why it's really, really powerful. Like, if you can sell half, then you're going to be able to what? You're going to be able to, still have upside, but you're also going to protect yourself, and you're going to lock in profits and stop your downside. Because if you sell half after it goes up 1 bajillion percent, all of a sudden, like, you can set a stop loss at like a 50% loss, and you'll still make like a lot of money on that trade. So just a really critical thing here. And I do it all the time. You guys see me trade live. Like, it's all comes down to sort of scaling in and scaling out, kind of slowly, carefully. And this applies not just with like active investment, but also long-term investment, right? Client of mine, they just were scaling out of a really, really big, like 7, 8, 9 figure position, and it was all in like this one stock, and it was like, it was crazy. And they decided that they were gonna sell like all of the shares, like everything they had. And so I'm like, look, you should like chill out and sell it over the course of a week or two, and just taper it off slowly and slower. And instead, they decided to sell everything at once, instead of selling half and selling half and selling half. And they sell everything at once, and then the stock goes up like 6% over the next week. And it's like, dude, kind of sucks. But it doesn't suck. If you sell half and then a couple days later you sell half, maybe it's down a little bit, a couple days later you sell half, maybe it's up a little bit. Like, you want to scale in and out slowly. And so that's what long-term investing kind of enables you to do, especially with indices, is you can sort of get in and out over time instead of focusing on like getting all in or all out at once. And obviously with active trades, you've got to get in pretty quick, or you have to get out pretty quick in a lot of situations. But especially as you have like really big profits, you want to sort of scale out and just take profits, because you don't really know where the top's going to be, but at the same time you want to protect yourself, you want to lock in gains, you just want to make money. So that's sort of the big message today. That's the goal today. I hope you guys got a ton of value from this. Go out there, apply it, and start scaling out of your positions and absolutely crush it with that technique, so you can kind of maximize the growth potential you have while still protecting yourself from downside, which is basically the dream, basically the goal. Maximize reward, minimize risk. Like, what else would you like to do, right? That's the strat. So thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next podcast. Thank you. Bye. Want more stock market secrets? If so, go get your free copy of my best-selling book, 9 to Noon. You can get your free copy plus $11,176 of unannounced bonuses it took me years to uncover, completely for free at 9tonoonsecrets.com. Inside 9 to Noon, you'll find the top 38 secrets you can use to double your portfolio every 2 years and make upwards of 10% per trade daily.